Hello everyone. Uh, I hope this video will be interesting. You just all of a sudden see everything here on the screen. So I wrote them not to forget them because it is my third recording. Again, I forgot some of the numbers and some of the letters here. What is this video is about? So how we use alphabet in mathematics. Actually, in my classroom when I was just using some letters. I have been using them intuitively, but soon they were asking, "Sir, why you have been using these letters? Like, why they are just all of a sudden just pop up A, B, C, D, F, X, Y, Z. So is there any purpose?" Yeah, we have been using them on purpose, definitely. So every letter represent different meaning in mathematics. So I want to just like record a video about that. Because of that, here we are. So we use ABC letters. They are the constant variables. This is the quadratic equation formula. This is the standard form of the linear equation. Letter ABC we are also using while we are naming the side length of the triangle. And ABC we are using while we are naming the corner of the triangle. Especially in middle school, what we studied the Pythagorean theorem. Here is the equation of the Pythagorean theorem. A and B are the perpendicular legs and C is the hypotenuse. So, capital C we are using for the circumference of the circle as well. And capital A we use for area of any given figure in geometry and in mathematics. When it's come to D, D is mostly widely used for diameter and the distance formula. Distance formula you remember from geometry as well. And capital D is for the discriminant. Discriminant is a part of from quadratic formula. I didn't write the quadratic formula, but you remember writing quadratic formula. Let me write here under square root of just D. ABC also we are using here as they are the constant variable of the quadratic equation here. Okay. So the letter E is the Euler number, which is one of the special number like pi, 2.71828. So we widely use this in exponential functions, especially in algebra 2 class when we are just compounding uh, any special amount continuously. So we are using that. When it comes to FGH, we are using them for the functions. So variety of the functions we represent by FGH, like f of x, g of x, and h of x, you remember from algebra 1 class and the algebra 2 class. Besides functions, FG we are using for the general equation of the circle. This is the general equation of the circle. C also here as a constant, and x, y, they are the variables which I will mention when their turn comes. So every letter should wait their turn first. So there are a lot of things to say. If I forget anything, please you mention in the comments, okay? This is what I remember, just like what I get it. So when it comes to H is used for height. By the way, capital G is used for the gravity in geometry. Center of gravity. Center of gravity is the center of any figure. When you hang from center of gravity, that figure will remain parallel to the earth because of that we call it center of gravity. Then IJK mainly used for the vectors. They are the unit vectors, like in the direction of x and y and the z axis. If you think about three-dimensional space, HK as well we are using for the center of the circle. This is the standard equation of the circle, and this is the vertex formula of the quadratic equation or vertex formula of the parabola. H and K. So we can also mention H comma K is here the vertex, and H comma K here is the center of the circle. When we just call it with O, or sometimes we put it C in front of it. Okay. So I use the letter that I forgot in my previous video. How you imagine that? How like I forgot it. This is an imaginary number. So everything actually all complex number based on this imagination. Iota square is -1. Let's get started. So it's a whole complex number which is wider than real number even. So when we are using k as a constant again in inverse and the direct variation, besides k we are using when we are naming lines in geometry, sometimes line L, line k as an example. L we are using for the length of any given figure, and the capital L we are using for the limit. M we are using for the slope of a line or slope of a given line. So the slope formula you remember here already. And the capital M we are using for the midpoint formula. Midpoint formula is here. Actually, discussion started from there in my classroom. Why we use M, small m, capital M. So are you using them intentionally or intuitively? So I thought that just let's record a video about it. So N is used for natural number set. There are several number set, when we start algebra. So N is natural number set. And by the way, I forgot complex number with C. Okay, let me write it here. With C inside, there is a complex number set. Sorry about that. As I told you, I might forget something. Please, you mention in the comments if something comes to your mind. N is a natural number set. What you know that it is not written only like N. So we need to put next to left side of the N, adjacent to N, where there is a vertical line. Okay. So small n is used for the normal vector. Normal vector is the perpendicular vector to the given space. Perpendicular vector to the given space. We call it normal vector. O is used for center of the circle or origin of the coordinate plane, as we mentioned here. And small o is when we are just we use it when we are composing composition of the functions as f of g of x or g of f of x. PQR mainly used, capital PQR mainly used for the polynomials. Polynomial functions when we mention when a polynomial is divided by b of x, which is divisor and the quotient is q of x and the remainder is r of x. Okay, remainder is r of x. So this is mainly used for polynomials, capital P, Q, R. But small pqr is used in logic, and they are the propositional variables. And besides, we use perimeter definitely. And other than area, we have a perimeter here, which is capital B. When it's come to R, small r is more famous than capital R. R is just radius, and capital R is for real numbers. For real numbers, you use this symbol, R, but I mentioned them here. Real numbers, natural numbers, I mentioned them here. So T is for tangent line, N is for normal line, which I mentioned already. Capital S for displacement, and small s is a little bit interesting also. Small s is actually half perimeter, okay? Small s, I don't have a space to write here somewhere. Small s is a half perimeter. ABC, as you see here, they are the side length of a triangle. Half of A plus sum of A plus B plus C is half perimeter. So R is equal to D over S. D represent here area. So we have one triangle. In this triangle, when we draw an inside circle has a radius. That radius has a relation between perimeter and the area of that circle. So the area divided by the half perimeter, we will get that radius. T is for temperature, and the small t is for time, which is more famous than its capital one. When it comes to U, V, and W, W is for width, length, and height together. Definitely you think about them together. And U and V, they are the vectors here. As I told you, I, J, K are the components of the vector, and U and V, they are the general form of or general name of the vectors. U and V specifically we are using in calculus also. This is the integration by part formula, and there are some functions and they are multiply to each other, and direct integration of them we cannot take it, like for example e to the power x times like sine x dx, such kind of integration, for example, while we are finding, we need to use integration by parts. So u and v, they are the functions. So for the sake of just time saving, we use them. As it comes to XYZ are the well-known unknowns. So when we study mathematics, definitely we study XYZ, X and Y unknown variables. Z also sometimes we use if three unknowns are there, just three unknowns, three equations. And XYZ we are using for XY for two-dimensional coordinate plane, and XYZ we are using for three-dimensional space. These are the coordinates of three-dimensional space. And the set of integers we use capital Z also, again with the double line, okay, or the little bit thicker line in the middle. R for real numbers and N for natural numbers. As I mentioned here, Q for rational numbers, and the Q prime is for irrational numbers. So these are the number set. Last but not least, small z is used for complex number. It is the general form of complex number, a plus iota b. Again, a b letters came here next to iota. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please mention in the comments that any letter if I forgot, or any just use of any letter in mathematics. Besides, I want to show you the Greek letters as well. It is debatable, definitely, whether we use Greek letters earlier than English letters or later. So most Greek letters also we are using in statistics, in geometry, like the angles when we are naming alpha, beta, theta, delta we are using for discriminant here. So please mention in the comments which letter it is used in mathematics widely. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the video.